Okay, so I did a little research. Basically, what I was looking into is what is it that people are looking up, searching as far as like motivational topics? What is it that they're looking for answers to, basically? The main thing people are focused on being locked in, or this phrase of just locking in. The first question I asked myself was, what does that even look like? Like what does that look like for me? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for John Doe or whoever? I guess the funny thing is there's definitely some pillars to it. For instance, locking in definitely means you're being consistent. Repetition is the father of learning. So if you want to get better at your craft, you want to get better at whatever it is that you're doing, inevitably you kind of have to do those things over and over. Second pillar, resiliency. It's got to be something that you're going to be willing to do even when you don't feel like it, even when you're a little stressed out, even when you're a little tired, or even when it hasn't worked out for you in the past. Period. And I think the third thing, at least for me, would be you have to be willing to learn, willing to improve. So always being a student, not afraid to fail. That's where you learn. That's where you figure out where you could have been better. The next thing I was worried about was like, how does that apply to you? How does that apply to other people? And why is it that we're so focused on locking in? Why do we struggle with this so much? One word, distractions. But this is something I had to understand personally is distractions are a choice. You're choosing to let this thing distract you. You can turn the TV off. You can decide to not do whatever it is that you think you have to do. You could just not do it. No one's forcing you to do it. It's up to you. And as a creature of habit, you're more or less going to want to stick to your routine for better or worse, even if you know those things aren't good for you. Sometimes the hardest things to stop doing are the things you know aren't good for you just because they're part of your routine. What does that mean for me? What does that mean for you? Basically, step one, eliminate the distractions. Get those out the way. Second thing, like I said, consistency. Make sure you're picking something, make sure you're locking in on something that you can do over and over again. Don't pick something that you won't come back to. Don't pick something that you won't do day in and day out, that you're willing to do even on the days you don't feel great. That's what consistency is. Like I said, repetition is the father of learning. The people who are the best at their craft, the best at anything they do, have done more reps. Basketball reference. How many shots do you think Steph Curry shot? How many fadeaways has Michael Jordan shot? How many ball handling drills has Kyrie Irving done? It's just, come on, man. I guess the asterisk here is don't pick something that you hate. Simple as that, because it's going to make it impossible to come back to it. The last thing, at least for me, is be humble. Be humble enough to know your strengths and your weaknesses, but at the same time, be humble enough to mind open to other people's ideas. It's really simple. It really is. Just know that what locking in for me is not what locking in is for you. Pillars are going to be the same, but how you get there, the steps you take are going to be yours. They have to be unique to you. Be willing to keep an open mind, like I said, to your process. Are you a type of person who needs to be in a good mood to create or to act? Or sometimes negative emotions can be a great motivator. I guess the last thing I'll say is what locking in for you is going to take is a choice. You're going to have to choose that this matters to you on the good days and on the bad days. That's really the difference. You don't have to do anything special. You don't need to do anything special. You don't need to be anyone special. You just need to be diligent and you just need to keep trying. Keep making steps when other people slow down, when other people decide to take a break because it's been hard, it's raining outside, they don't want to sweat too much. This is Florida, bro. Good luck. That's where you'll also be able to see the difference between you and them. I think a lot of times people don't realize when you're willing to work through the hard times, you'll see the other people who aren't, the other people who are willing to give up every time it gets tough. And then you never have to worry if they're the same as you. If they have the same talent, that's fine. If they have the same skill set, that's fine. They're not willing to do what you're willing to do. Lock in.